Hey everybody, welcome to the August 8th edition of the ITK Soccer Show, and the first weekend of Premier League action is officially in the bag in 10 minutes. We actually decided to stop watching the City West Brom game because it was a foregone conclusion. It's still 3-0, but it'll be finished by the time we do our recap of all the weekend's action. What we'll do is we'll start off with transfer news. So it looks like the Kevin De Bruyne to City thing is in the advanced stages. A bid has supposedly been made. 47 million. Has it definitely been made?
Yeah. Do you think they'll cancel that because they saw how good Yaya Toure was today and just realise they don't need him?
Well, De Bruyne, we'd probably play out wide or attacking.
Well, that's just a Premier League way of doing things. You get a decent player who's best at behind the striker and you put him out the wing and see what he can do. Or maybe they just realise how terrible Sterling is.
I think they were always trying to reinforce. They've really only signed 2 people this year, and
3.
Who else?
Some irrelevant lad from Fulham for 12 million.
Roberts, yeah.
It's a lot of money. So
oh, ridiculous.
So I think it should count.
Dan, just talk there for a sec, will you?
Hello.
Go again.
More words, please.
What's up?
That's it. No, I'm just adjusting volumes here. Very
all right. Okay. Very good.
I was saying to Dan earlier, John, will Mourinho look at De Bruyne as the one that got away? Because if you look at all the other people he's let go since he's come back to Chelsea, you kind of think that he's got it right. But
I wouldn't.
Well, no. Okay, who's he let go that you don't think he's got right?
Well, I think they would have had a better chance in the Champions League if he hadn't let Schürrle go.
Oh, maybe.
I think Felipe Luis is a mistake to let go, especially since they just spent 25 million on one player. He'll probably never play.
So who is this person? Do we have this here?
Yeah, Baba Rahman. Yeah, I've never heard of him either.
I say, like, he's successful. He won the league last year. They were the best team, but they were pretty much the only team. Like, you know,
can I say one thing about De Bruyne? I think he's a really good player. I thought he was very good, and I suppose they were going to get rid of him when they did. But the thing about De Bruyne, he needed a bit of work and coaching, and Chelsea don't give that.
Well, Mourinho can't do that.
Like we have to nurture this player. No, not doing that.
But I'm saying this season,
that's what they do.
This season, Mourinho will regret it because every team's come back stronger, bar Chelsea, who have stayed the same.
You see, maybe Mourinho had as well. If it's not broken, don't fix it. It's a possibility he went in with that mentality and a bit of loyalty. It'd be interesting though and see if Mourinho
tends not to last more than 3 years.
There's no fallout with Abramovich or anything in September, October.
He's fallen out with the physio already, so I'd imagine
that was hilarious. Poor physio.
Yeah. She apologised on her Facebook page, so she said thanks for all the support. We're not recording, are we?
Sorry, slight technical difficulties there. I don't think it's an issue of loyalty that you were saying when it comes to Mourinho bringing players back, or bringing players in, because I think it's fairly obvious that he wants rid of Oscar.
Oh no, I think Oscar is good, but I don't think he's.
Well, the fact that he's been linked with a move all summer, and that he didn't celebrate when he got the assist, and the fact that he was the guy sacrificed as soon as Courtois.
Well, who else was going to be sacrificed? To be fair, he was the only one really.
Well,
Willian's a very good hard worker on the right flank.
Okay, well, it just adds to it though.
Well, I maybe there's something going on at Chelsea because they were ripped apart. Well, we'll get into it later, but ripped apart.
Well, they're unfit. They played a pre-season friendly on Wednesday.
Was that last minute or
no? It was planned.
Was that planned?
You have to remember that the season's starting very early.
But there was no. They had. I don't. Do they have any players? Willian
was away,
and that would have been it at the Copa. I don't think anyone else.
Falcao.
But yeah.
Costa's just come back from injury, and you have to think like if you even put it in a compared to like the Liverpool team, Liverpool left a lot of their attacking players on the bench, sort of thing. We didn't try to rush. Maybe we rushed Coutinho in, but Chelsea don't have a choice. They only have the 11 players, and they haven't improved. They've sold.
There must be something in that. Not unless Abramovich wants the youths or something.
It's
like
it
is.
Well, he does.
Chelsea can't buy players. Like Mourinho's already had a dig at other teams buying the league because it's not the way Chelsea do things anymore. They sign.
But like again, there is a lot of kind of. I think there's weird like that Oscar not celebrating. That it was a I've never seen.
There's
that.
definitely stuff there. Trust
I've
me.
never seen that, and like I'm not saying I would get rid of Oscar, but I do think they could have strengthened that area.
who would
I
come
think like someone like Vidal would have been great.
Well, he's already going to play where Oscar played. In all fairness.
I'd have Vidal over Oscar.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe I think
Okay.
Vidal's a bit of a
He
head
needs
chicken.
help in that position. That's the thing.
Okay, well, going back to Kevin De Bruyne and the idea of him coming in, he was voted the player of the year in the Bundesliga last year, and for that not to be a Dortmund or Munich player is a rarity over the last few seasons. So for 47 million, if they're willing to pay what they paid for Sterling, is that a fair price, in your opinion?
Well,
Do you think he'd add to the team?
Well, if you're
Yeah.
buying the player of the league, I think that's sort of like, would you buy Hazard for that? Actually, I suppose you would at this point.
You would, yeah.
It's like since all the money's really coming in. Like Premier League teams been getting it since 2013, but you could see Crystal Palace. Like I think almost 13 teams in the Premier League so far have spent over 10 million on a player.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that. Like so, it's big money for pretty much everyone, and it's affecting the bigger teams. To like even Chelsea, I don't think Chelsea could go out and buy someone for 50 million, even if they wanted to. I think they spent a lot of money last year, and they can't do it again this year.
well, like they bought like Cuadrado for 30. Played about 5 games.
Yeah, they let Salah go, who I think he was tearing up the Italian league.
He's decent.
But like they bought him off Liverpool by offering him more wages when Liverpool really wanted him, and he'd be a great player for Liverpool right now. I honestly think.
I believe so.
He's at maybe at the top level.
But
He's
you
decent
haven't really
squad
seen
player.
him, but like
He's really good.
it's
Dan.
all Chelsea do. They buy these players like they did De Bruyne, like they did Schürrle, and they sell them on for profit, which is good for
I think
them.
Willian was one as well, but he's actually turned out all right.
Yeah, because he's turned him into a decent. But it looks like City did well today. Like bar Arsenal, who obviously drew it up. Every top team had a very difficult opening game, I thought. And
Well, we'll get to the
yeah.
specifics of those games. We'll just keep going through these transfers here for a moment. So Shaqiri to Stoke is done,
it's madness.
which is crazy because I remember when it was first rumoured, and then it kind of fell away. And
Was
then
he holding out for a
Shaqiri
bigger
to-
team, do you think? Or
I
I'd
do,
say so, yeah.
because Shaqiri to Everton was then rumoured. It's
Do you
just
think there's
amazing.
something wrong with him? Maybe.
No, I think it's his attitude. Like,
Well, that's what I mean. Like he went from Bayern to Inter to Stoke in a year.
yeah. Well, basically, what happened was, it's not a surprise that Bayern wanted to get rid of him when you look at their squad. So he obviously Liverpool made some eyes at him, and he said no because he wanted a bigger move, and he said he'd do Inter. He felt Inter was a bigger move, and I think that's arguable. But anyway, he went there, and then Mancini found out how much he could spend this summer. So within 6 months, he becomes surplus to requirements. So
Who did they buy?
Inter.
Yeah.
Kondogbia.
Kondogbia is the big
yeah.
one, but they bought quite a few people. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's
but
just Mancini's
you
mentality.
would have thought a bigger team than Stoke would want him.
Well, all I'm
Like even like a
Well,
Seville or something like that.
You have to remember like
Valencia
how big some of these teams are. Like Roma bid more money for Kabay, and he chose Crystal Palace.
yeah. So,
You know, so
that internal burp was so fucking loud.
that was so loud.
That wasn't me.
I can never give you guys soda pop again.
It's
wasn't me.
It's my first Coke in like 2 months.
Jesus,
That was him who did it.
you'll be flying.
I know.
Anyway.
Bouncing off the wall.
No, but in terms of Shaqiri, I think it looks pretty bad for him. I'm sure that he regrets the Liverpool decision now in retrospect because he was in the stands watching Stoke be beat by Liverpool. We'll get to that.
Yeah, but they were very even teams.
Yeah. Joey Barton, heavily rumoured to West Ham, or is it
Medical.
just... Oh, it is a medical. Okay, so he'll
I
most
think
likely...
that's a great signing.
I think it just...
Right, he should pass it.
It makes perfect
Decent
sense.
signing. Like they've got him, Nolan, and Noble, so they're all kind of similar enough in there. But
Was it Nolan who did the interview for...
Noble.
Oh, it was Noble.
Noble lost the plot.
Did you see this, John?
No, what was it?
Okay, so Noble Noble was being interviewed by West Ham TV after the Arsenal game, and they go, "So you must be fairly happy." And for those of you who haven't seen it, go watch it. But basically, he made this face. He goes, "Well, like." Right?
Well, obviously, the listeners can't see that now.
No, I know. So I'm saying, but he made this huge grimace, right, or a huge elated face, and he said, "I was doing media there before I came to you guys, but like I had to keep that behind me, you know. But because this is West Ham TV, who gives a shit?" was the quote. So it's actually kind of incredible. But he was delighted. Let's see. So we did the Chelsea signing. Neither of it. Where's this guy coming from?
Who?
Augsburg, is it?
Oh, your man,
Okay.
Rahman, yeah, Augsburg, yeah.
West Brom signed Rondon. He was heavily linked to Liverpool.
This is something. It's on our itinerary here. Dan does a thing where it's any other team, he puts the small amount. But when it comes to Liverpool, it's like the biggest amount that's been rumoured ever. It's 25 million.
For what?
For
Liverpool are on the list.
Yeah, no, but whenever we talk about Liverpool, like, geez, didn't they buy your man Firmino for, wasn't it 75 billion?
That's exactly what I said.
It is very true.
Exactly.
I remember I was putting over Firmino's performance yesterday, and Dan was like, "Well, you'd want him for 23 million." It's just like, or just kind of evaluate him on how good he is.
Money is irrelevant.
You haven't seen him play 90 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm not judging him. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you can't say, "Oh, he's amazing."
Yeah, but like
you can't,
everywhere I've read, it's 25 million, and then there's one that's like 20 plus 5 million, and Dan goes 20 million. I'm just saying you exaggerate prices.
For what? The Rahman thing?
Yeah.
I've seen it's up to 20 million.
I've seen 25 million.
Okay, well, it's...
Well,
I don't know anything
here it
about
says
him, and I
12.
don't care about him. He's not going to play.
He might play.
I'm sure
We don't
he'll
have
play.
anyone else there.
I'm sure he'll play.
Well, let's be credible.
I presume he's been brought in with the idea of Mourinho going.
Oh, you talking about Rondon?
Yes, I'm talking about
I
Ronaldo.
talk about the Chelsea.
Yeah, I
part.
think that's a Berahino going to.
Yeah.
Or they have a great strike
imagine,
force.
I don't know anything about this side. Is he any good?
Rondon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's alright.
I
Have you
can't
seen him,
pretend to
right?
know.
I've seen clips of him, the old
He's
YouTube.
Zenit,
stuff.
that's all I know.
Yeah, Zenit are great lads.
De Gea future. What do you want to talk about? He obviously was dropped this weekend, not even on the bench because of supposedly his head isn't in the right place.
It's
So his head
really-
in Van Gaal's idea, his head won't be in the right place until the transfer window's over.
It's a really, really weird one because Madrid have two keepers already. And, like, they've already given number 1 jersey to Keylor Navas.
You read too much into jersey numbers, my friend.
No, but they bought Casilla. They've got two keepers. Why would they bring him in? I think they're happy to wait a year, personally.
Yeah, so do I.
I think they're trying to get in his head that he'll just want to leave and not play and be fit for them.
The powers that be
You
at
know?
United are clearly not going to shift on the asking price. So
It's 25 million, but Madrid don't want to pay. They want to pay like 15.
I don't like. They didn't give whoever the keeper was. Who played for United?
Romero.
Yeah, they didn't give him a number. Like, it was similar to the Benteke situation in Liverpool. Like, you couldn't buy a jersey with his number on it. Like, I don't know what number he ended up wearing. But
Romero is 20, I think.
yeah, they clearly want to give him the number 1. So you could see him wearing a second jersey at this thing, because you can't buy Romero 20. You might be able to
really?
now.
Yeah, but it's
similar to Benteke,
It's
yeah.
a weird. It is a weird one. I've never seen the actual holding club say we don't want to sell, but we want to get this sorted and drop him. Like you'd see it. Like, I remember a few years ago, Newcastle did it with Kabay and Spurs did it with
I think
Bale. They were holding out for as long as they could,
I
trying
think
to
it
get as much
happens
money.
quite
But, like,
a lot.
you don't.
it does happen quite a bit.
You don't see a top team do it though.
Well,
Liverpool did it with Suarez.
Yeah.
But,
Training to
Man
reserves.
United are.
It's a bit early.
but you have to remember this
Yeah.
is Van Gaal.
But how often do players leave Man United? Like, they're not going to do it
Big
with
players.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, no, yeah, I do agree, but it's a weird one. I just don't know why they just
well,
don't sell
regularly
them.
enough.
I don't know why they.
Yeah, but not to
I don't-
bigger, better things.
I don't know why they
Ronaldo
just.
the last one.
Ronaldo, you could argue Tevez.
Tevez went to City, and
Yeah,
the board refused to give him another contract.
No,
That's
he
when they
did
were
win the
gone
league. He
to
did win the league with them.
He won the Champions League with them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
No, but it
it can
is a
happen.
weird one. You think like either Madrid would say we're not going to buy you, or Man United would say we're going to sell you, or we're not. We can go on a free next year because he is going to be there this time next year.
Well, Madrid.
He will be their number 1 keeper this time next year.
Hold on.
Personally, if they were Man United, the best thing to do is to keep him to the end of the year. I think he'd be fine because I think he is happy there. He will.
You're
want to
not
move.
talking about what's actually happening, though.
But what is happening? It's very confusing. The whole
Well, De Gea wants to go. I think it's fairly obvious. That's why he's being
He's
dropped.
also sold everything that he owns.
Yeah.
He's-
Okay.
he's not
Hold on.
pushing for
Let
it,
me
though.
make my point.
What do you
De
mean
Gea-
pushing point? Like Sterling?
Well, Bale said he wasn't going back to training for Spurs until he got his move.
Yeah, like there's that sort of thing.
Suarez was, he was always going to
But
go.
you always
after
have to
the
remember
second
who's
game.
leaking this sort of thing.
I just don't see why. But Madrid actually.
Okay, Dan.
They haven't
let me-
accepted it,
Okay,
though.
okay, Dan. So he wants to go. We know that. They have an asking price. Madrid are faffing about and flip flopping about whether they're going to meet it or not. So it is in the air. And hold on. And not only that, but the league has started a lot earlier. So these question marks are still in the air. If Madrid are going to wait till the bitter end to see if United will drop the price, whether they get him or not, like, this can go to the last day of the season. So
why would they buy another keeper though? That's what I just don't understand. If they were just going to go and buy him, 10 million to Madrid is absolutely nothing.
Because
they could easily just go out and get him now, give him the number 1 jersey, have him in there, happy Larry.
you say
it's gone. There's
okay,
your keeper.
You say 10 million to Madrid is nothing, but overall his price for a keeper is gigantic. So they're probably
really?
and also they probably
Yeah.
want to. They probably yeah. What do you mean not really? Give me another one then that's close to it.
25 million for arguably the best keeper in the world.
Who's 1
Okay.
year left in his deal.
Yeah. Who? When is this? When is the keeper gone for that?
Buffon is like the
Buffon
only
went
one.
for the.
Okay.
when you-
I
So
think
there's-
Craig Gordon is second.
So there's one example of this. So it is kind of extraordinary. Also, Madrid haven't started their season yet. They probably haven't evaluated what their goalkeeping situation is like, whether it's good enough or not. With so much time left in the transfer window, the idea of him being cooled off by United until it settles makes complete sense. I
But
don't understand.
United had a whole bench, like the cool goalkeeper gang at the match there. The three lads having a great old
Let's
time.
talk about that. We'll go straight.
Poor
into-
Victor Valdez, by the way.
We'll go
No,
straight.
fuck 'em.
Hold on. We'll go.
Poor him.
Please. We'll go straight
That's
into
your
the.
Barca heart right there.
Jesus Christ, lads, calm down. This coke has gone to your head.
It's actually Coke.
I know it is.
snorted it.
Well, okay. We'll start the Premier League preview or review now. So United and Spurs. Now you can talk about the three goalies in a row. So there's Lingard and De Gea and Valdez without Man United apparel sitting on the. How much money did they have? Like,
They have a good bit of money. They want to sell all three.
yes.
But Valdez is like the cool guy in school. You know when you're like in 6th year and you're supposed to be wearing your jumper and your tie, but instead you whip off the jumper, you roll your sleeves up, you have your top thing and your ties, God knows where, because you're just so cool. That was Valdez. Dressing up, looking there nice, like the 5th year students ready for the move up. And
Polite young men.
Valdez is just sitting there with his legs open, shirt open, just beckoning women to
Fly
sit on his
down.
lap.
If they do sell all three, right? Who's the backup to Romero?
Sam Johnson.
Yeah,
isn't
they
it?
bought some young lad, didn't they? Sam Johnson.
Oh, he's actually
FBI.
just a youth keeper, isn't he? Surely they just keep Lindegaard as number 2.
That's what I
I
would
think he's on a lot of money. Like not a lot of money, but
For a while, he was actually number 1 keeper ahead of De Gea for a
yeah,
while.
he was great. That was Ferguson was always good at that. Ferguson always had like different players for each things. Like there was a thing in his book that like he'd almost tell players that you have like I think even Park was one of them that like you have up to November off because you're gonna become really important in like the title run and all that sort of stuff. Like so like
That is the way to do it, in my opinion.
Ferguson was
Rafa did the same thing with Ben Ayoun in the season when he came second.
Okay.
I know.
big player.
So let's talk about the
He
game.
was a big player in that season.
United scraped it 1-0. They looked absolutely horrific. The only goal came from the Walker own goal, which was
they had that great thing where they were 1-0 up at half time with no shots on target.
1-0 up. They won.
It's such a pro thing, isn't it? Like,
It's not even. They had one shot on target by the end of the 90 minutes. But this own goal was caused by Rooney's just...
Such a delay.
Like,
no touch.
let me just say this. I know it's the first game of the season, and I might be getting ahead of myself. But the idea of this guy being your only recognised striker, except for a guy you previously loaned out who's also coming off a collarbone injury, and you're refusing to get another striker, this is bad news. And we haven't even
I
talked
tipped him to be tough goals.
I still think they'll go out and get a centre forward and a centre back.
Well, do you think maybe Pedro
Otamendi was hanging around. Pedro.
No, the automatic. Yeah, see, Pedro's not a centre forward. Pedro, if anything, is going to play in the wing.
Unless he tries to pay up there.
I think
Well, he
it'll
might.
take him a lot of time. Like I was watching it with the guys, and they're like he looked good. He had quick feet, but like
Flash.
He's
Yeah,
a very
just
talented
flash.
man. It
I'm
seems.
not saying he isn't. There was a great moment though, and it would have been the goal of the weekend, even with the goals we'll come on to, where Kane gave a lovely ball and flicked it over to Eriksen.
Eriksen, oh.
And Eriksen, if he'd like put any decent touch on it, we would have scored. But he tried to dink it over.
Yeah.
But and Kyle Walker had a decent chance as well. But there was a good key. Like he was actually the United's keeper Romero was actually put on a very decent performance.
Yeah, he gets a bad rap. I think.
I'm not sure on him.
To
Here's-
give-
do
to
you know
give
why he
credit
gets a
to-
bad rap? Because he's when you look at the international keepers over the last 10 years, right? They're usually the big names, the guys who've been in the major tournaments over the last 10 years. So like Hart and Buffon and Casillas, okay, Neuer and stuff like that. And he has always been the Argentinian keeper. And out of the big national clubs, or sorry, of the big international sides, he's always been the keeper that you're like, I don't know.
He's not top keeper.
He
Here's the
was
thing.
dodgy with the ball to his feet, but that was the entire United defence.
Here's the thing. Argentina have got to the final of the past two competitions they played in. He's still their number one keeper. He's a good keeper. He is. I think
He's above average. He's nothing better than
I
that.
would like to give some credit to Van Gaal because for the first 20 minutes Spurs were on top of the game, but he put Schneiderlin on Eriksen and Eriksen couldn't play, and Harry Kane was left by himself.
Yeah, Schneiderlin looked fair, as did the right back Darmian. But in general, Man United just didn't seem like they had anything at all.
I don't think any team
very much
like two teams did this weekend.
Again, you can't really go overboard with a win or a defeat the first day of the season because teams aren't fully fit.
I understand this.
People are still mixing. Like you judge a team, say coming up to Halloween, you know where the league is going to be.
Sure, but Dan, we are.
But that's why this season's a bit mad because this season there's 4 matches before the international break.
Yeah, actually.
Well, here's the thing: we are going to talk about everybody's performance, though. So within that vein, the thing that struck me about United, and I said this to you guys when we were watching the Liverpool match yesterday, is it just seemed like Van Gaal still had his absolute, bafflement as he's had before. The idea of Mata playing, like on the wing essentially, in a front three on the right of a front three rather than Depay, and Depay behind Rooney at the top of a 3-man midfield. It's something that I don't think anybody else would do if you have those two players to utilise. As well as that, the fact that he was so quick making the 3 changes when the second half came in. Now, obviously, when you bring in a lot of new people, you don't know what your best team is. But Brendan has brought in more people than anybody else, and he kind of knew exactly what his changes were. And what
I
his
don't
bench
think
was gonna
Memphis
be.
should have played. I can see why the money he had to.
Okay,
well,
would you not have played him like as a pacey player who's a good crosser?
I would have in that case, but I don't know when you have
just
a big match at home.
The idea of putting Mata there.
Yeah, when I saw it on paper, I thought it was Young and Memphis are wide and Mata.
Satanta or BT or wherever I watched it on had it as a 4-4-2, which I thought it was going to be.
With Memphis up front.
Yeah. They had it, but they changed it around a lot. It was hard to know.
It was a strange one. The second half didn't show much except for the introduction of what Man United want to be something very special, which of course is Bastian Schweinsteiger.
How bad was he? I didn't watch it, but like
he was slow.
It's similar.
It's just
I'll put it similar. It was
he hasn't been fit for a long time,
but it was similar to when Liverpool bought Morientes, and I was really excited because this is a world-class striker, and then you realise you may have bought him a season or two too late. He just didn't seem to have the legs, not to, like he's a perfect 60-minute sub for Carrick. It's maybe 70-minute when the game's won, and you just let him do whatever.
Could he even pass the ball? Could he?
Like
there was really nothing going on. So
yeah,
it seemed like an awful game.
Yeah, like there was one header that something hit the post. It was either him or the ball, but
I think it was him.
I did see that. Yeah,
but that was it. Like it was very.
I'd love to see him get fit though, but you probably won't.
I don't think he can.
Final word on the match. I think Spurs were lucky to go away with no points, in my opinion.
Ladies, don't try yourself with Victor Valdez. Doesn't matter how good he looks.
Okay. Dan? You only saw the highlights?
I didn't watch it, so.
Okay, grand. So I don't know how much we all saw minus highlights of the 3 o'clock kickoff, so we'll go through them the best we can. Game of the week was Leicester City and Sunderland, 4-2. Leicester were 3 up in the first 25 minutes.
And then Sunderland took off Lee Cattermole.
And then what happened?
He got was it 5 fouls given away, a yellow card, gave away a penalty, and was taken off in half an hour.
Yeah.
Good man, Lee.
Defoe and Fletcher got them back in, and Albrighton scored in between those 2 goals.
Mahrez was very impressive.
Well, so was Albrighton. He got like 2 assists and a goal. Or
yeah, he was
really
the man of the match.
We all knew that Ranieri was doing a good job there. We predicted it last week. And
yeah, you just said we can't read too much into the first game, but Leicester going for
Albrighton. This isn't Albrighton who used to play Villa. Oh, it is.
He scored was it the 20,000 goal, 10,000 goal Premier League?
I don't know.
Whatever landmark that was, he scored it.
I always thought he looked great.
Decent player.
Look good. Apparently, there was a tragedy
in his first year.
His wife or girlfriend's parents were killed in the Tunisia attack.
What?
Yeah, so apparently since then he just hasn't been able to focus on football. This is his sort of comeback. Because I think he was good at the start of the season for Leicester last year.
Yeah.
But then kind of just
drifted away. Leicester, they have an awful lot of pace in that team, don't they?
Yeah.
Vardy, Schlupp, Mahrez, Albrighton.
Let's go through this pretty quickly because there's actually lots of talking notes from this match. Pantilimon clearly handling the old trousers.
Oh, that was shocking.
Why? Like, what has to happen in this world for a ref to actually give that? There was an incident very similar last season as well. Why? He
literally moved his hands closer to the ball to stop it instead of chesting it.
But actually, what it looked like to me was he chested it into his hands at the last minute, realised, and then flicked his wrists up to try and get away with it. And
Do you think it was 4-0 at the time? I think would he have sent him off if it was 0-0?
I don't think so, because he would have given the free kick. Then he gave nothing.
Yeah, but he went in and turned a blind eye to it.
Well, he clearly turned a blind eye. There's
no way. If you're 4-0 down, it's like, oh god, I have to send off the goalkeeper now. Sorry guys, it could have been just.
Didn't Sunderland score 2 before the 4th? What if
No, it was
they scored 1 before.
It might have been 3-0 down or something, but it was they were getting hockeyed at the time.
Yeah, but James Vardy is in the news as well, but for wrong reasons.
There's something up with that Leicester team, considering what happened in the summer, and then apparently it was a lot of players playing some high stakes poker.
Yeah,
and they don't know how to play poker. Is from what I heard about it.
There's a lot of these Leicester lads in trouble. Isn't
well, now let's just focus on the Vardy issue. So, what do we know exactly?
Well, it's quite ironic that his new striking partner is Japanese, and he had a racial slur against Japanese people.
It was Japanese people, right?
And I didn't know what he said, but that's sort of I got a transcript of it, and it was Agasaki, I think, is the new guy up front, and he's already training with him, and apparently he's apologised to him and everyone, but surely he's not going to be sacked for it, but has to be disciplined. Well,
nothing's happened yet.
Maybe it's an internal investigation at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You'd hope something would be done.
Adam Johnson played,
but that court case is off until next year,
right?
So he, in theory, can.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, Ranieri in the post-match,
what a man,
asked about what he thought of Kasabian, because he mentioned that so they play "I'm on Fire" before. Is it called "I'm on Fire"? Or is it called "Fire"? I don't know. But they played
Fire.
They played that Kasabian song before every Leicester game, and he said when you hear that song, that's the time to balls deep, straight in, no kissing. And when he was asked him did he like Kasabian, he said, "I don't know them, but I love rock." I love Ranieri so much. I love how old he's gotten.
It's a shame he'll be sacked by Christmas.
Well, not if they keep doing things like this, Dan, or something.
I think some of them were so bad, though. But it'd be interesting.
By the way, there was no foul language. This is probably an off-air conversation. There wasn't one word of foul language in Thursday's show. Did you know this? It was insane. We couldn't have if we tried.
Well, you say it, or will I say it?
I want to curse now.
I said shite about a minute ago, and that's why it reminded me. But can you believe that?
Did you listen to the whole thing? Or did someone tell
I
you?
actually did listen to the whole thing.
That's pretty impressive. I didn't.
He's really one hit this week.
At least.
We've actually a good few. Quite popular.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for joining the
Fantasy
League,
I must
which we'll get
say,
to.
well done to everyone for joining in. You'll enjoy your Shamrock Rovers ticket next year, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to the Fantasy League at the end, and I know we're all chomping at the bit. Everton versus...
I honestly say I'm not.
Everton versus Watford at Goodison Park. You thought Everton looked disgraceful. Yeah. It was 2-2.
The only one.
John, you hate our Everton, though.
Wait for it, Dan. Wait for it. Ross Barkley and Kone got really late goals, 76 and 86 respectively.
Great goal by Barkley.
And Watford, I don't know who those players are. So, I don't think I even saw a second of this.
Your man, sorry, I'll get it here. Who scored the second goal for Watford? Sorry, no.
Igalo.
But
he made 50, 40 million John Stones look like an absolute fool.
Oh, I did actually see this. John Stones was left on his arse.
Yeah, it just took the ball, went to control it, and John Stones just went sliding like the Sol Campbell never-ending slide tackle. It was slow motion. He just kept up.
If John Stones has any brain, he'll stay at Everton for at least 1 or 2 more years.
Why?
Everton fans hate your man Kone.
He goes to Chelsea, his career will die.
Why?
He's not ready to go there.
I'm sure ready. If they pay that much,
I wouldn't go to Chelsea if.
No, it's at least even Liverpool or Arsenal would give him game time. Chelsea won't.
It's very hard to get sent. Any team that's why you should stay at Everton as a centre back. Yeah. It's impossible. Even Cahill didn't go till he was 25.
He had a few years of Aston Villa, then to Bolton.
Yeah,
so he actually progressed.
I would agree with you, except for the fact
he's not going to learn his trade sitting on the bench.
I'd agree with you, except for the fact that Jose's basically said that he's thinking of deploying Zuma more as a defensive midfield player than a centre back this year. So Stones could realistically go in there as number 3 or number 1 or 2 for cup games.
We'll get to the Chelsea match, but he could end the season. John Terry's looking shockingly slow.
Well,
I'd personally go, but that's just me. Anything else about this Everton match? I don't know if we've much to say.
The Everton fans really hate Kone. They're really turning against Martinez, and they were very lucky to get a point.
What's their issue with Kone?
Just because all Martinez has done is buy players from Wigan. Like, literally. Barely.
McCarthy, Cleverly, Kone, Alcaraz.
Yeah, he's bought like 7 players and 5 of them have been from.
Actually, Kike Sanchez-Flores looked good manager.
Yeah, he did.
I think he did really
I
well.
felt unlucky for all the promoted
Spain.
teams. A lot of them were very unlucky.
Hey,
Like,
Watford were the better team for the first hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Everton sort of.
Did one of
nice
us
goal
pick,
by Conte, I thought.
one of us pick Everton to do really bad this year? Who was it? Was it you, John?
Probably John.
I did, yeah.
I didn't think they'd do well either. Bournemouth had their first Premier League game against Aston Villa, and they did perfectly fine until new signing from Blackburn,
Rudy Gestede.
You know, this was his 20th header goal in the last
He's
2 seasons.
very prolific with his noggin, much like Lionel Messi last week.
You would have seen him with the Blackburn FA Cup match last year. Did he cause any problems in that?
No, I don't remember.
I think,
I've seen him in-
them talking about him a lot, like for set pieces, but it never really caused anything.
He actually was keeping Jordan Rhodes out of the team for a while, playing one up front.
I think
but
Jordan Rhodes is
he's a big, bulky lad. For $6 million, he's a decent replacement for Benteke because he's the exact same guy.
The ins and out of Aston Villa is mental. I think they've sold 10 players and bought 9 or something. They showed it before the match. It's ridiculous.
It's a big gamble.
They
How many
started
new players?
nine in the new lineup were new players.
Oh, can I go back? Sorry, let me go back. Watford did something extremely rare in terms of the nationalities of the players that they fielded their first 11. Any guess? It's very simple.
No English player?
Nope.
No, that's been done.
Oh, one of every different nationality, yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah, Troy Deeney was the English one, isn't he?
It's pretty incredible.
Yep.
Multicultural Watford. Anyway, yeah, Villa.
He would have first team to never have one.
To never have an
Chelsea.
English player.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Yeah. That was fairly
You
easy.
think it'd be Arsenal?
You would.
But it was 2000, maybe?
No,
I
I
think
think
Vialli was
I
manager.
think it was
Are
99.
you not doing teasers anymore? There was a good one.
Yeah, well, it's over now, isn't it? Oh, I've got one. I got it. That was the question I asked you earlier.
Oh, yeah, okay, very good. Anything else about the Villa game?
Bournemouth strike me sort of like Blackpool, as in they play nice football, but they are not going to stay off.
No, they're not.
I hope they
I
do.
think we all hope they will.
How many new players did Villa field? Was it 9 or something?
9, yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Guzan played.
And like Bon
And Bon Lahore.
and the rest are new.
That's just unbelievable.
Westwood.
Imagine Westwood, but it was,
Yeah, it was about 8.
8 or 9.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Gestede came on, so
Chelsea versus Swansea was the last game of the day on Saturday, and a ridiculously interesting one.
sign John Joe Shelby.
Who?
Anyone. He's
Anyone.
great. United need an attacking.
He's actually really good. But
And equally as bad sometimes.
Oh yeah.
so Chelsea went up early. We talked about Oscar. The Oscar goal, and then there was an own goal on 30 minutes. What's it? How do you pronounce his name?
Fernandez.
No, sorry, not Fernandez. The Swansea goal that came before that.
Andre Ayew.
Ayew.
What a goal that was.
Okay, hold on now. Is anybody going to say? Did anybody see this?
Yeah, it was a great goal.
Okay, I'm going to see the post goal celebrations.
No? I can't remember.
Oh,
The
please.
Gomez one I saw. The Tiger thing.
No.
Alright.
Okay, his name again, sorry? Ayew? Ayew, alright. After Ayew scored, right, Gomez put his 2 fingers in his mouth, in Ayew's mouth, like the mandible claw. Did you not see this?
Or
No, he just stuffed his fingers down his throat. They were lying on the ground, and he shoved his fingers down his throat.
that's alright.
Did you not see this, Dan?
Get a better grip. We've all been there.
Well, I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest.
Very bizarre. Very bizarre. Anyway, the favour wasn't returned when Gomez scored with a
Gomez
penalty.
busy being a dragon.
He was busy being a dragon.
Yeah.
Courtois was sent off on
Did you
55
see they've
minutes.
appealed that? It's the most clear red card I've ever seen.
It was definitely in the box.
It was in the box. It gave him a kick when he was last man, and it wasn't like he kicked the ball past him.
Yeah, Jamie Redknapp said, it was a red card.
Jamie Redknapp was saying it
But is
wasn't
that not
because it
an
wasn't
extra
goal
match
scoring.
ban if it's
3-match ban, isn't it?
yeah? But is
Yes.
it not one more if you
If you appeal and fail?
yeah.
I didn't know that. Is that true?
That used
No,
to
it
be.
depends on the rationale of it and everything.
Okay.
Like, it should be 3-match, but poor old Fernandez, or Lorenzo,
Yeah.
as Dunphy used to call it.
But it was an unfortunate own goal. All in all,
It was,
like Swansea were
they were
definitely-
excellent.
They
Def-
should have.
excellent
They
they
should have
were.
won it. Though.
They should have won it.
And like, actually, ironically, Chelsea became better when they had 10 men.
Well, that's always a Chelsea way because nothing can happen. They could just.
No, but they
Well,
I
they
was
just brought
very,
on-
very impressed with Ayew. He looks a really good player. Like, I thought his goal was so clever. Like, how many times you see if you're on the ground to hit it again, he got up and he took it. He gave himself an extra year. Terry dived out of the way. Simple finish. Really, really good
He
performance.
did what Glenn Johnson couldn't do.
Yes, we'll get to
The
that.
likes of Shelby and who's the other lad? Who's the other guy in the wing? IU and was it Dyer?
It's a very
No,
bad
it wasn't Dyer.
weekend for
No, Dyer
defensive-
was like defensive mid.
very bad for defensive midfield.
No,
It's
Key.
like Matic.
He went off injured. I can remember. Like, they look very good though.
Yeah, either way, yeah, it was pretty sad for Swansea, but IU will definitely be talked about later as one of the best debutants.
Mourinho going mad at your one was a bit mental.
You kind of mentioned that earlier. So basically, he didn't want there to be a set piece where they had 9 men.
Yeah,
because the medical
she went on
staff
to check
rushed
Hazard,
off.
and
Yeah.
once you check a player, he has to go off.
Yes.
And like I just thought that was like
So in that situation, one would be led to believe that it's up to the medical team they decide when to go on.
yeah,
or
but
not.
they
It's-
they're
if
taking
they
notes.
see-
They're not working for the football club. They're sort of working for the players. You know what I mean? Like
But they're the
yes.
safety of the players. So,
yeah,
but,
that's for the
but you know the reason why Mourinho said this
Yeah.
is because he's still trying to distract away from.
Yeah,
his
he's definitely
terrible
trying to
team
deflect.
performance. And like he's always done it through his career. Like how many times he's like if his team
you
failed to
won't get a
break
lot
the
of
team
these. When he
down,
drops
or
points, they have City next week.
Yeah.
like if City play the way they did tonight and Chelsea play like that, City will win.
City at home as well.
First game
Aguero more fit.
on Sunday was Newcastle and Southampton. Another 2-2.
Overtime with a successful cross.
Over that was a successful cross. Cisse scored. Pele scored. And Windham scored on his debut. What's it? How's it pronounced?
Vindlum is what
Vindel. Oh, it is
The
Vindel.
Windham for now on.
Windham. Hello, Windham. He's Dutch. Great player.
It's a lovely goal.
It was a lovely goal. And Shane Long saved Southampton's blushes. So you were saying earlier you think that Southampton aren't going to do well this year. Are Newcastle going to do well under McLaren?
Well,
They're my
that was
surprise
the
of the
pick.
season.
Oh, well, I tell you, they didn't look bad here.
They got very
they
tired.
did okay, but
That's
I think
They did okay.
Southampton will be mid-table. They won't be challenging top 4. There's a lot of reasons why, but you know, it's always second-year syndrome as well. Even though they've been in the Premier League for years now, it's second-year syndrome. They did so well.
No,
they've lost big players in key positions, and I just don't know if they can go again. Now they did get Jay Rodriguez back. He could be good if they can get him going.
He'll be great
They've
for Liverpool next year.
I've actually got probably. They've actually got a really good forward line without having an amazing striker. They've got Rodriguez, Pella, Long, and Juanmi. They bought off Malaga. They've actually got 4 decent strikers, but
Do you see the
I think
chances?
at the back now without Alderweireld, I don't rate Emmanuel Yoshida.
See the chances Mane missed.
Yeah, like he's another good, like the match winners, but they won't go down. They won't be in Europe though.
Actually,
And I think the Europa League will take it out of them.
We skipped.
personally.
We skipped Palace Norwich.
Oh, sorry about
did.
that. Is
You
it
did.
even on this?
Of course
It
it is.
is.
Norwich were screwed.
Very annoying.
Jerome scored a lovely bicycle and it was given away for a high foot. It's the most
That's-
ridiculous thing I've
that's-
ever
that
seen
is-
in my
I
life.
saw that. That
High
wasn't
foot,
fair.
the cheek of him for trying to score a goal, like
Yeah.
Palace did fine here.
That's exactly right.
Zaha's goal was good. Kabai's at the very end was fair enough as well.
They give Arsenal a good game. this
Yeah,
weekend.
I think away from home, and I know it's Norwich's
haven't-
first game back up, but I thought Palace were, they kind of started where they finished last
Having
season.
said that, though, Palace away from home were much better last year away. I
Okay.
think they had the 4th best away record in the league last
Yeah.
season, while at home they actually struggled. So it's that kind of counter-attack football, punching Zaha, Balassi.
But with the big teams,
lads
they can
going forward.
Yeah, big teams they can play the counter attack.
Yeah, maybe they can hit Arsenal in the break again, but it'll be interesting to see how they adapt if they can be more better at home. Because you'd fancy Palace at home, but actually last year, if you look at it, they're really good away, but at home they struggle. So
Interesting. We'll go back to Sunday, and thanks for pointing that out. We had Arsenal and West Ham, and I've gone on record in saying before that Wenger being upset is the funniest thing in football, and nothing was funnier than Wenger finally saying, I think we're going to have a fair shot at the league this year. All the papers catching on. Piers Morgan tweeting before the game that Benzema is literally back on the plane, back on his way to London, second or third time over this summer, and they lose 2-0 to West Ham at home. I laughed and laughed and laughed.
do you know the main reason why they lost? I still think is because West Ham have had games.
I'm sure that
No, it
helped.
is. It helped.
Like Arsenal were poor, and ironically, Jack, who's the guy who's supposed to get them points,
Yeah.
probably costing them points. But
It
I do
also
think West
shows
Ham, if
they're
you
very
it was-
average. They can't beat teams like West Ham without some magic from a player like Sanchez. Like Giroud and Walcott can't offer it.
Well, I
Chamberlain came
just think
close.
they're still sort of in pre-season mode. Like there was a lot of teams where, like Man United were, I think Stoke and Liverpool were. There was Chelsea, or besides really City. There's only 1 or 2 teams who look really shit hot
Yeah.
the start of the season.
Well, City had,
But they were just lucky. I think if West Ham played anyone,
City did have an
they
extra
would have. They would have given anyone a game because they played. I know they didn't do very well in Europa League, but they've got that game time. They've been playing together in competitive matches.
But it's hard
that
to say.
does stand by you to some
He
degree.
did do well. Your man Oxford had.
Yeah,
He had an amazing game. How old is he? He's 16?
He's the seventh ever youngest player.
Right.
And they showed the list in Match of the Day, the top 10. They're like, some of these went on to great things.
Aaron Lennon
Some
is
of
the
them
most
didn't.
famous one. Aaron Lennon and Rooney are the two most famous.
Yeah, I like how you said Lennon before Rooney. Well, I think Lennon's like second, so yeah, he was.
The thing about Arsenal that struck me is I think the defence kind of played easy. I think that they were kind of a little bit...
I think they're bad preparation.
I honestly think with Czech behind them that they kind of were just a little bit more sure of themselves, and that kind of did it for them.
They gave your
But it
man
should
a
be
free
though.
shot, whoever scored the second.
Yeah.
Czech was. I've never even seen a goal like it. You know what I mean? It's like
Just kind of.
it'd be like if
you'd
you're-
see it in Astro.
Yeah, an Astro.
When the keeper doesn't nurse move.
If you're playing the PlayStation or something, and someone shoots from distance, and you're like, "That's a terrible." Oh, it's gone in.
Yeah.
How the hell did that? And you're replaying it, like, because it's just like Czech did dive, but he was just miles away from it, and it wasn't even in.
It's
We'll talk about the Coutinho goal later. But if the keeper should have saved that or not, but
Well, we don't have to.
but like he dived and the ball was nowhere near the corner. It was just almost in the centre of the goal.
I think I was looking at it and it looked like his right leg was ready to bounce to his left,
Yeah.
and then the ball went the other way. And he's like, "Oh fuck!"
But you think
And it
like
caught him.
obviously it's like pre-season mode and it might take a while. But looking at like Terry and Mertesacker this weekend, are they just 1 year older, 1 year slower?
Well, Mertesacker
Has always
he's
been
never
very
been
slow.
fast, but he's not old.
It could be
He's
very
only
true
about
of
30,
Terry.
31.
It could be very true of Terry. I do believe.
I do think Mertesacker is he's never fast, but he's never relied on any pace or anything. But like
That's true.
You know, he's not old though.
Arsenal were also missing your man who was great for them last year, the defensive midfielder. wasn't he?
Coughlin he's playing.
Coughlin
Bellerin,
plays.
I thought Bellerin was a big miss because
Yeah.
they were so compact. I saw a heat map of it, and Oxlade Chamberlain played right wing, and Cazorla was out in the left row, Ramsey was out in the left row. They were kind of Ozil was out there. They were all just cutting into the number 10.
Yes,
and West Ham were playing a diamond. So he played diamond. That's where the space is out wide, and Bellerin is much better than Debussy, especially getting forward. So Bellerin would have provided that. I would have even tried bringing on Gibbs, maybe instead of Monreal, maybe fresh legs or something, trying to stretch on the other side. They ended up playing Alexis, not ready at all. But you know,
No, he wasn't,
fair play to West Ham, but I'd call it a blip really with Arsenal. I wouldn't really.
That's a
look
shame
into
to
it.
West
I
Ham
wouldn't
for
look into it
dropping
too
all
much.
their players and being knocked out of the Europa League.
Well, yeah, it worked out for them, but like they'll still be shattered by February.
Excuse me.
No, that's a blip for Arsenal. I wouldn't look into it.
It may be. It'd be funnier if it wasn't. So Liverpool. And
Well, not if the bookies are to believe and Wenger's gone.
Well,
There's no story.
yeah, I don't-
Which would be the second year in a row that we all predicted a manager to be sacked, and then like as soon as we recorded, the manager was gone like the next day.
Yeah, I personally think that. I don't know how much validity there was to that story. Obviously, we heard that betting had been suspended on Wenger leaving, but surely not.
Like that's like Pierce Morgan, like just going for.
wasn't Pierce Morgan.
I'm just saying anyone big could have done it and put money on something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't look into it too much.
Sure, it's the same thing when betting was suspended on Radiohead doing the song for the next Bond because someone went into a bookies and bet 13 grand on it. So they were like, well, this guy clearly knows something.
Yeah,
But like
no,
it's
that's
simple
fair.
economics. Well, it has to come in if there's full of bets, you know. But no,
If-
he's
if
not
it's
going
even
anywhere.
true.
Wenger's not going anywhere.
Last game on Sunday were the Barcelona C's against Liverpool at the Britannia Stadium, and there wasn't much in this game. Shannerpool. There wasn't much in this game really at all. Obviously, Liverpool and Stoke both had a lot of new signings on the pitch.
There was like 2 moments in this match. Actually, I'll put it at 3. The one, Glenn Johnson missed an absolute sitter of a
This
chance.
is incredible. We've talked about it so much, and we also
He
watched the match
controlled
together.
it and just toe-bogged it in such a way that it like Emil Heskey used to do back in the day when you're like, it would have been easier to score.
Yeah.
But I just don't know
Absolutely.
how. Like, didn't even score. How do you not hit the target?
Yeah.
All you do is just toe poke it.
Yeah.
If he toe poked that,
Yeah.
Midnight was not getting to it. Like, it literally a toe poke.
And then
There
just
could have been no more perfect
just
way in
before the
which
goal-
every single Stoke fan grimaced while every single Liverpool fan was elated, in every way.
I think the ballad of Charlie Adam put a great ball in towards Juff, and Klein just got there just ahead of him.
Yeah.
And that was like then Minglet Lovren to Gomez to Coutinho who scored. Like
I
they were
must
just-
say though, it was an absolutely awful game, and there was nothing.
Oh, yeah, like-
both teams Look, it's a great win for Liverpool. I'm not taking away from
I know
this.
Liverpool.
I think
are happy with
there's
them
an
as well.
awful lot of work for both teams. But again, it's first day of the season, so you can't
Well-
be judging performances. But I just think, though,
But you can't put down how big of a win, especially
no,
on
it
a
is.
team
It's
that
a,
beat you
well,
6-1
look,
is.
Yeah.
look, I wouldn't,
Especially
I wouldn't
when you
even,
look at the way
I wouldn't
fixtures
even look
for Liverpool coming up.
I would actually think that's a bigger thing because I can imagine Stoke in their prime, say November, December. Arsenal, I don't think will go there and win. I think big teams are going to struggle. They always struggle in Stoke. It's a tough place. They look at the calendar. If you got Stoke on a wet, rainy night in November, December,
As the joke goes.
but no, but it's true though. You
Messi
don't.
couldn't play there.
No.
No,
Well, you
Like,
can't
you
put
don't
somebody.
like. I can't see big teams going there and
But
winning
you can't
very often.
can't put now how much better almost every team in the Premier League is now.
Sure.
Like they've all made
Yeah, I
big
think
signings.
this year the European teams.
I think it's
coming in
worth-
back end. The English teams will do better in Europe this year. I didn't think last year they would do it. And
I'm not sure.
the
they
last
will.
couple of years
I
they
don't-
haven't, but I
don't
think this year they
you-
might be a bit better.
United, I don't think in a FIFA
But they-
Master League they've
got a
improved,
handy-
but
they got a handy draw as well. Club Brugge, they'll be fine there.
It's worth mentioning that Liverpool started the game with Milner and Hendo in the centre.
so I won.
Well, no, you did. But Liverpool did not win at that stage. No recognised defensive midfielder. And then when Chan came on and they had almost one more midfield, like out-and-out midfield player, it really started to click.
Yeah,
And it almost freed up
they did change formation though. If you're playing a DM, Milner and Henderson, they were both just to sit there. They weren't like having one designated DM would allow one more runner. From
Yeah,
midfield. They changed the formation. They
Milner
put
went
Milner
right
and
wing.
Henderson further forward in the
Yeah.
middle, and Coutinho and Ibe were kind of Ibe was on the right, but Coutinho had a free roll from the
he
left.
basically had a free roll.
So
Well, Milner actually
by having
went to
Chan there,
left.
like you could have put me in there. You'd still have a DM holding, and it would allow an extra runner from
Well,
midfield. Like
I do
Henderson.
think
that was the difference. You
Chan
had
was
a-
good when I came on. I
He
also
did do
think-
well.
I also
He had
think
a
it was a
good
big thing
tackle.
taking Lallana off because Lallana.
Yeah,
was
Lan
dreadful.
wasn't doing anything. But, yeah,
He did change formation. I wouldn't put it all down to Chan. Whoever was in there was.
He
gonna
did make
allow
a match
runner.
winning tackle.
he did. So I would put a lot down to Chan. And you're not exactly right because Milner did go out to the left a lot as well. Then Firmino came on, and I thought he looked really bright. Obviously, a lot of question marks about him, considering where he's come from and how much he is.
Yeah.
The only team in from were United in the summer, but Liverpool
Not true,
better
is
too.
it?
Hmm?
Not true, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, they both kind of was a Depay sort of thing. And Liverpool didn't want to
They
pay
got
because they
Depay,
desperately
yeah.
needed. Well, Liverpool had him and desperately needed a striker
yeah,
and 40 million on it. Whatever.
whatever he is.
Time will tell. I guess.
Exactly. But so basically, it from the youth movement that's going through Liverpool at the moment and the depth in the squad, which are the two major factors coming into this season, it really kind of fell into place for Liverpool when they came on. Still, as much as those players changed the positivity of Liverpool's play, regardless, it was only that one moment of brilliance from Coutinho, and it was a hell of a goal.
The keeper should have saved it.
Do you think you should have saved it?
Have you
John?
not? Have you looked back at all?
somewhere in the middle.
Have you not even? I know yesterday I was probably a bit of an asshole when I said it, but
You? No.
of course. But obviously you're late. And look, it was an amazing strike. Really good goal. Great shot. But I thought it was a really good strike that keeper should have saved.
No, like
Or done
just-
better.
like I said,
done
like
better.
It wasn't. He was at full strength.
I said
you
to you
look-
at the time, when you see it, it's like something strange has happened. You know what I mean? Like the
That's
ball's
what I
in the
said.
net, the
I said
strike.
that's
Let him make his
deflection
point.
or
Let him make his point.
But
Go
like,
on.
but I just think you don't save them as much as you think. Like it's not like a save, like it's a powerful shot. It was just something that was hit from distance with ridiculous pace, and it was curling in as well. That's how he almost got a touch to it, and he got a touch to
Yeah.
it. But he was diving already. The ball was moving.
That's it, Dan. It was.
He tried to put a strong hand on it.
It
and
was
he
the
couldn't.
curl on it. It wasn't as if like
It was great
he-
for Butland to get it to as close to it as he did.
I
But
think so.
honestly
I think it was a miraculous jump. Like, if
Yeah.
you look at his hand, Dan, it wasn't that if he had positioned his hand differently, he would have saved it.
Yeah.
And that's mid-stretch, and you can't say a goalie should or
Do you
shouldn't.
remember?
in that case.
Do you remember Gerrard? Sorry.
Hold on. But the idea is that he was at full tilt, right?
Yeah.
And the closest he could get to it was fingertips. So by that, like, in essence, from a matter of physics, he couldn't have done better.
I thought, but it wasn't in the corner though. It
It
wasn't.
was the way it curled. It didn't need to be. It
He was still on
perfectly
full
dipped.
stretch then.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could
I-
give out to where he was standing, or you could
Yeah.
give out
Yeah,
that.
that's like maybe his position was poor or something because it just looked that the keeper should have done
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Look, that's just
No,
my
I
view.
agree
And
with
I'm not taking it away from Coutinho or Liverpool or the performance.
But I think what you're
or
imagining
anything.
is-
I'm just saying.
He physically couldn't have done better.
I'm just look. I'm picking and I want to get the best, and I think Butland maybe should have done better, and I think a top keeper saved that. That's just my view.
Do you
But
remember?
I'm not taking it away from Coutinho.
Do you remember Gerrard's free kick against Everton last year?
Howard should have saved that.
Yeah, but like I think that's what you're kind of thinking, because the ball was in Howard's hand then, basically, but it still went in, not out of power, just poor goalkeeping. I think the power and the thing, but also I think
if you look at Yaya Touré's goal tonight or Barkley's goal, not being saved.
Oh, absolutely,
You know what I
I
mean?
agree with that. But in the same way, I think that the Sky cameras kind of trick you sometimes into like thinking what the real pace of the ball is. Like when you see it in this sort of, they sort of show real pace.
Very airy, and it doesn't.
They do, when they showed from the angle of looking at the goal, you can't tell.
Yeah,
do you know
exactly.
what I mean? It has to be a panoramic or a profile angle.
It's an interesting one. I'd like if anyone is listening, even comment or even, I'd actually just like to hear. Do people actually agree with me, or am I talking through my hoop again?
Danny
I
Murphy
usually do.
sort of agrees with you.
Well, Graham Souness said it as well.
Ah, fuck him.
Graham
Sold the
Souness
story
is-
to the Sun, the prick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I'd like to say. I think there might be some people who might
For me, right, it doesn't make a difference.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, right, but you're wrong. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm
It's
not
an
saying
opinion.
no. Well, physics isn't an opinion, and if a guy's at full stretch and he can't reach something, he can't do better.
But he still should have had a stronger hand on it.
No, it was his fingertips.
If I can put an end to this, I think what summed up the weekend perfectly and summed up why I was wrong on thinking Arsenal were going to win the league was Thierry Henry's reaction when he
Was it the Walcott thing? Was it?
when I asked
He
him
didn't
to
want
walk
to. Henry is just, he doesn't criticize anything. It's like it's incredible.
I'm happy with him being paid $5 million to give no actual analysis if he's going to actually let himself be that flabbergasted by a
face
question.
on him. He wants him as a Walcott can be the star striker, isn't it? And he's like,
No, he looked away as if somebody had just like told him that, like, you know, everybody he's ever held dear have just been in a bus that's driven off a cliff. It was just there was he couldn't believe what he had heard. It was quite incredible if you haven't seen it. Finally, we had today's. Do you want to guess how it finished?
4-0.
3-0.
3-0. So Yaya Toure was
You
given.
said you have to fail there.
I actually didn't. I just thought that.
It was 3-0 and he left it. What do you think it finished? 3, was it?
So Yaya Toure was credited with the first goal, but it wasn't.
It's quite incredible.
David Silva basically backflicked it after it was hit into the box or hit through the box.
Still Silva's goal.
I think Silva was trying to an affirmative motion, though. No, was he not trying
Regardless,
to?
it hit Silva last. It's his goal.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about how like someone at Man City was making spaghetti, left it on the pot too long, the water boiled, burnt the spaghetti, and then someone glued it to Raheem Sterling's head.
It was just sagging his hair.
Yeah, someone died sagging his hair, just trying to think like a tactic. Like
He
we don't
looks
tell
so
him to.
weird without hair, doesn't he?
Oh, it's terrifying.
Yeah, he looked like Mika Richards.
I must say though, Man City were very good tonight. Give
They
them
were
credit.
very good. I want to talk about. Can I stay in that first goal for a second? In slow motion, when they showed the ball going in, that clip took about 10 seconds. That's how slow it actually
Michael
was.
just looked at it. It's like I probably could dive and still
Yeah,
get
it
this.
was just dribbled in.
Do you think Pulis might have made a mistake with going 4-4-2?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think he was confident? Because I know
he
they
put-
destroyed Arsenal, or was it Chelsea? They beat comfortably. Yeah, Chelsea. They
Yeah,
beat comfortably.
he in the second half or after the second goal when he put Berahino on the wing and left Lambert up front, and there was a bit more solidity in it, but game is gone. Like if you're gonna go 2 up front against City, you have to be direct and get the ball into the box and have a go at them. They couldn't get the ball. He should have seen what was going on. I think there's no what West Brom kind of missed. Like no one who can really. Morrison and Fletcher, they're both kind of modest, hard workers.
Silva
They didn't
looked
get the
good.
ball to James McLean on the wing. I'm not saying he's great anyway, but
He's not good in any way.
But they never gave him to get at City. You know what I mean? They never did what they had. Their strengths was try and run at them and get balls into the box for Lambert and Perino. They didn't do it. So
The question for the fans tonight is who was the most hated man there? Was it Sterling or McLean?
I think it was Sterling, obviously.
Sterling, well, I don't know why the West Brom
I
fans
think
are
even the
booing
Man
him.
City fans were singing songs about him towards the end.
They very well may have
I
been.
don't think they like him at all.
Let's just get back to the goals again. Yaya's second goal was just absolutely wonderful. Placed into the corner after a layoff from Wilfred Bonney, and then Vincent Kompany with a debated goal. Dan thinks it was his shoulder.
It was his shoulder.
And I think it was his head. I'm just going to have a read back here of the summary of this match, Dan. What time is that goal at? Here we go.
About, was it 20 minutes?
They're saying it was definitely his head.
the third goal. That was the shoulder.
Well, they're saying it's his head here now
Well-
on Eurosport.
Well, Sky Sports reported that Ethan Jacko was in the Man City squad, so.
We're not calling it Sky, thankfully. So, yeah, there's no real takeaway from this match that we haven't said already, besides I think that
Sterling still can't finish.
Sterling can't finish. There was 2 chances that he had. But regardless even of that, City, out of the bigger teams, look by far the most comfortable. In fact, the only comfortable team out of the top 6 from last year.
Yeah, but again, that's not going first day. The table by the internationals, October, it'll kind of sort the men from the boys, and you'll see what's going on, you know.
So let's switch gears and go into the League of Ireland update. What do you have?
Pats had a big win against Rovers. Our keeper cost us. You didn't see it, no?
I didn't.
He let one through his hands. Tame Chris Forrester shot. Then the second one, the ball went out and he tried to kick it and he missed it. It was the last minute and he was in a rush to kick it and wet conditions, he missed the ball.
All right.
But Cork are now only 4 points on Dundalk because Dundalk couldn't beat Longford. 10 men Longford at home. While Cork beat Sligo. So now they're in huge trouble.
Okay.
Because Limerick have won 2 games out of 2, beating Sligo last week and now beating Bows 4-3. So Sligo are 4 points ahead of Limerick at the bottom. Sligo have one of the biggest teams in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Could easily go down here. They've just appointed. Remember Mickey Adams? He was manager of Leicester in the Premier League. It was over 10 years ago.
I was thinking he was a lad who went to the Eurovision.
Mickey Joe Hart.
That's the one.
Yes,
They look very alike. Similar mole on the back of their neck, I believe.
Yeah, should be playing We've Got the World tonight with the players going.
I don't like We've Got the World Tonight, but I do love rock. Ranieri. Go ahead.
So that's it, really.
Mickey Joe Hart still has weekly gigs in Dicey's.
Yeah, no, he's still gigging. Like, he's still,
What age is he?
working away.
I was more of a Johnny Logan fan myself.
Probably still getting laid because of that.
Probably.
2 years in a row for Johnny Logan.
Yeah, Logan's a lot different, though. Logan's a lot different.
What about Terry Wogan?
Joe Logan wears makeup to the shop.
Who doesn't? Sure, does McDonald's has with Johnny Logan.
They were fucking good.
No ad has been better than that.
If they could bring back the McRib and have Logan in kind of a beige barbecue suit advertising
McRib,
it,
they were great.
they were wonderful.
I
What's
had
better than...
my first chicken. Was it the Chicken Legends there last
Yeah.
week? First ever one. Never got them.
Do you see
With salsa.
Do you see
Incredible.
they've replaced
Oh, yeah.
they replaced
With bacon.
Sterling and Mingale in the Nivea ad with Coutinho and Adam Lallana?
They did.
I think the only reason Lallana's starting is because he's got such grey hair.
He's got great skin too.
And he's a great lad.
Good lad, lad. Well,
I
bad.
missed the ad where Henderson stuck in the little mini.
Unlucky!
What's he get? Lads, we're late.
What a man.
Very good. All right, awards time. What we do first? Goal of the week. I'm going to go Phil Coutinho.
I'm going to go Barkley.
I'll even it out and go, yeah, second goal.
Spoofer of the week.
Ogbonna for West Ham. He said it was a fantastic time here playing in Wembley Stadium. It's like, it's the Emirates, man. Like, you know, not that
Okay.
hard. It's in London, so he was happy with that.
I'm glad you didn't take my one.
Also, ESPN.
Okay, you've got multiples. Go on.
ESPN go happy birthday to Remy, and they put a picture of Quadrado up.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so they remember we were talking this last week. They all got the same hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they literally went and did it.
That's very rude.
Official ESPN tweet.
Mine is similar. You pointed this out to me. Be the Sky Sports graphic team saying that Ray Parlour had played for Arsenal for over 1,000 years.
It was 1993 to 3004.
Tremendous. John,
I'm going to go with the Sky Sports trying to predict the Man City's team today. And they said, you're going to be Boney, your Roma forward, Checo.
what's going on?
Yeah, like
there?
I couldn't believe the like I was just saying to Neil there.
The professional world is failing. Like remember
and,
those
and football manager stats on Sky Sports is
but-
just
Oh,
like
yeah.
what the hell
But
is
like
going
They
on?
don't care anymore.
all these graphics are terribly wrong. There's all these misspellings of names and stuff like that. Like the Bodkin thing for Liverpool or the UFC fight kits came out and like half the fighters' names were misspelled. What's going on?
I can't watch Sky Sports anymore. Ever since I used it, like they realise that they make more money from betting than they do from having a news channel. So it's
Sure.
just nothing you can watch. Like it's just
And with all the money that they make, they decide to send 92 different reporters to every single different.
That was the
club.
biggest. Just
what do they do? Oh,
Do you remember this
every-
Live
people
92?
Oh, I
White
heard
was
of
in a
it.
helicopter going.
Oh, I
around.
heard of it.
It's like, what the
So,
fuck are we
so
watching?
thinking that day alone, right? You're not thinking about the production crew, the lighting, the presenters in studio, the cameramen. How many people were Sky Sports News actually employing that day? Hundreds, like. Anyway.
And the money for the helicopters and
I
jets.
know.
And
They really want the championship to be big because they're losing Premiership to everyone else. Like BT show a match and
They had to fork out for La Liga. BT went in big for La Liga for next year, and they had to fork out a lot. So, things are heating up there. Anyway, what other awards do we do?
here.
Yeah.
But I have another spoofer. Oh, I do.
Oh.
Harry Redknapp. Talking about
forgot he was on TV.
Talking about Coutinho, he was shagging everyone. And what else did he say?
Ian Wright also said...
Ian Wright goes, he's someone's going to score a shitload of goals
he said,
immediately after. It's like, BT were just like, well, where's Harry again? It's like, it won't happen again.
Honourable mention to Lee Cattermole, who had a terrible first day of the season. And also, has anyone seen the Celtic mascot?
No.
It looks like the son was hit by a bus.
What?
And to do with the corpse, they just threw
What
a
is-
man in there.
what is it? Like,
I'll
was
try
it
to
like
get
a shamrock or something?
I have it here. Just give me a second. I'll show you how bad this is. We can go on to other stuff.
Okay, hero of the week, Dan.
But he's gone from zero to hero. Messi gave $4.5 million to UNICEF this week.
Okay.
And
How much did you take off?
And also, of course, and also your man Oxford for having Ozil in his pocket. 16 years old in his debut. You'd have to give him an honorable
Yeah,
mention.
I think that's... I would agree with that one. The Messi one's interesting. Is there any... If he gives away enough money, does it kind of soften the tax question, or...
No, well, if he takes some of it back, it doesn't, does it?
Not too sure. John,
Well,
do you
he's an
think...
official ambassador for them. So. Oh, that was good.
Fair play, Messi. Eddie?
Franco De Santo found a spider on a pitch and put it in one of his teammates' jerseys. And the teammate proceeded to lose his mind.
That was incredible. I meant to actually put that in.
Was there a clip of this?
Yeah, he picked it up, and your man takes his jersey off and is jumping up and down.
Oh, wonderful. All right, that's awesome. Okay, do our teaser and we'll finish off on our fantasy.
Oh yeah, just to confirm. Oh yeah, that was it. Ray Parlours, we're talking about him earlier.
Aye.
Where did he go after he left Arsenal?
Okay,
What
where
club?
did Ray Parlour go after he left Arsenal? We'll put that in the little header.
It looks like Lisa Simpson or something.
That does, doesn't it? John's just showing us a picture of the
It's like
Celtic
if you
mascot.
merged Lisa Simpson
With a Teletubby.
with Maggie Simpson's evil friend with the unibrow.
Very good, John. That's horrific.
Yeah. You should make that the background of next week's ticket.
Background next week's show, remember. Okay, fantasy time.
God.
And
Now,
social media.
yes, but I'm going to go through... That's next
But it's
time.
social media and fantasy football.
Okay, I'm going to do the fantasy football now.
Okay.
So, here's what we'll do. I think there's some really nice team names here.
I don't think I want any more members in our league. I don't want to go lower down the table.
Here's...
You're stuck in the
you know
bottom
what?
three.
This is something I'm going to say. The international break, right? I'm making our league private as an onus to drive people in, because what will happen is then we'll be able to talk about all the people in the league every week without it changing much. So we're going to have 4 more weeks that people can join this league. Now, I'm not going to go over everybody's team name every week, obviously. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm reading this week's results, I'm also going to read out their team names, one time and one time only. And I want you guys to rate them out of 10. How's that sound?
Are we going through everyone? There's
Yeah.
a lot.
It'll be pretty
By
cool.
the way, well done, guys, again. Really great work adding, copying and pasting a link into fantasy football.
You
Really tough.
like us. You really
Yeah,
like
no, we do appreciate we've more than doubled it, and hopefully we'll get more in the next 4 weeks. Okay, in 21st place, my good friend Reggie Harrison from
Who's
Portmarnock.
that?
My good friend Reggie Harrison from Portmarnock.
All right.
He wait, I'm trying to think. There's a few people missing here. Yeah, no, we do have to get more people. Anyway, his team name is Footboom. Out of 10?
2.
0.
Right.
Like his points this weekend.
Very good. In 20th place is myself.
Oh, yeah.
What's your name?
Blur is better than Oasis.
That's terrible.
What has that got to do with football?
That's the worst name so far.
I just couldn't think of anything at the time, and I thought,
You can still
well,
change
know,
it, can't you?
I hope not. So I'm there on 13 points.
Good man.
In 19th place, and this is
It's
really
Sean, isn't it?
this is really an indictment on this show about football, that out of 21 people, the bottom 3 are held by Reggie Harrison, Neil Marshall, and his co-host John Carroll. Borussia Teeth. Do you want to explain this?
Bruise your teeth.
Yeah, brush your teeth.
Oh fuck, 10.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's a great one.
All right. Rob Normal has Soccer Ball United FC. See, this is a way of dealing with being a part of something that's massively popular, but yourself wanting to be slightly ironic.
I've got some bad news. Dave Nocton didn't have time to put a team in this week, but he promised me next week he'll have Adebayor up front as captain as usual.
Well, I hope he comes in. Anyway, so I'm going to give that 2 out of 10.
1.
John?
Hipster 0.
Hipster 0.
Very harsh in his name.
Sean Ryan has gone with a safe bet here. He's in 16th place
Sean
with
Ryan.
Harchester United. I'm going to give that I'm going to give that
I give it 5.
unimaginative 0 for myself.
I'm going to give it a respectable 7.
Jesus, that's 7 out of 5.
I'm going down to 3.
Okay, thank you, John.
Dan shot his load.
Bringing some balance here. Regis Care. Who's this? Do we know this person?
No.
Regis. What a fucking name.
Is that the name of the person? Or
yeah, they must have done something here. Anyway, they've got Indominus Reg.
Who is this person? Whoever you are, please come forward.
I have someone who's like entered like 3 times.
I'm giving that a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 10 because you don't know who he is.
Okay. James Byrne has the James Gang.
Who's James Byrne?
I don't know.
Nice fella.
Oh, okay. Well, James, you have a shite name for your football team. I'm giving it a 0.
I give it a 0. Yeah,
he's a nice guy. 6.
You're blurring the lines between being a pundit and being somebody's friend.
Have you listened to the show? That's all I do.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining, James. Hooperman is in here.
Is that Luke?
Oh no, it's not. Is Luke not in here?
I don't think Luke was.
I was looking at his name, and we have to get Hooperman as a semi-celebrity member of the fantasy league here. Sorry, excuse me. This is my old friend.
It's not actually Hooperman.
No, it's my old. What?
It's not actually Rovers Hooperman.
Luke.
Yeah.
Luke Proctor.
But there's a few of them.
Careful now.
But is he not the main?
Believe
Hooperman?
that.
Is he not the main Hooperman?
He used to
the
be.
Hooperman. He's the number 1.
Yeah.
He probably, yeah.
There's multiple Hooperman.
There's a really tall one as well.
There's multiple lookalikes in case like one gets murdered.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the main Hooperman, I want him in. I mean, this is my old friend, actually, Gary Kiernan. I got mistaken. Gary Hooperman. Because he's got keep on hooping. So because he confused me, I'm giving him a conservative 2.
Give him 10 for that name.
Jesus.
Can't give him a rating. Don't know who he is.
Okay.
You met him. Did I? Yeah, you would have seen him at the Rovers match. Oh, that was you.
Oh, that's Gary Kiernan.
Yeah, the guy at the Rovers match.
Oh, fair play, Gary.
As you know, he's only about 4 years there.
And ahead of him, another fellow Rovers, a guy who he goes to Rovers with all the time. Shamu here enjoying 13th. They've got the same points.
There's a lot of people in this list.
Fungarvan Rovers.
He moved to Dungarvan.
Okay,
on the show again.
I'm going to give him a 4.
I'll give him a 5 for effort.
Okay. Michael.
I'd give him a 7 if he moved for his team name. I'm on board.
Okay. Then we've got Michael Tobin with the Cheeky Boys. Number 2.
He's a colleague in work. Or former colleague in work, should I say.
I'm giving Michael a big fat 8 for the Cheeky Boys.
I'm giving him a -1.
Oh, Jesus. Jonathan.
I'd give him 1. Get it? Cheeky
right.
boy. Hey.
Sex. Brian Donahue in here at number 9. We're cracking the top 10 now with his questionably named team, Nice People.
Nice People. God.
I think for the furthering of our careers, we shouldn't rate that. So whatever you think of that, keep it to yourself there. Kenny Murphy here, number 9, with Purple Main FC. This is obviously reference to the Orlando team. Unimaginative 0.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. 0 creative put into that.
0. John's just on his phone now, so that's okay.
What's happening?
Yep. Dave Nolte in with
He's in here.
Father Philip's Lads. So I'm going to give
him an 8 for
give
that.
him an 8, yeah, it's a fair one. Now, Tommy, much like his brother, has decided to err on the side of irony and call his football team football team. So I'm going to give him a slight advantage.
He had this same team last year.
I know he did. So, it's like same personnel.
Well, the same name.
Okay, all right.
I'm not sure the exact same person.
I'm going to give him a 5 for that. Dave Rogers with the Rogbox Rovers is in at number 7. I've had, Dave, Kenny's friend Dave, who's at my wedding. Rog, Ginger, big guy, Dave Rogers from Portmarnock, my friend at my wedding. Rogbox Rovers, Dave Rogers, big guy, Ginger, who's at my wedding.
How much is this free weekend?
Okay, we've got. Okay.
Hanging brown. You're inside our tent.
Getting interesting, lads. Here, in 6th place.
Is it me?
Former champion, the man who's defending his title. Noel Keeley with the beautifully named Ratbanger Rovers.
I hate it. Like his best man speech is pretty poor.
Oh Jesus!
This is better. This is well written compared to that speech.
I'm going to give Ratbanger Rovers a 7.
Three.
It cracks me up. A Ratbanger.
But at least I'm ahead of Noel anyway.
You're in 5th place with I'd rather be Leeds. I get it. Did you come up with this yourself?
I did.
Okay, I'll give you a 7 for that. That's pretty clever.
I don't get it.
I'd rather be Leeds. Ginger, Portmarnock at my wedding.
From Johannesburg, black defender.
Jabba.
And when is this free weekend?
Dave Brady in at number 4. Fair play, Dave.
Is that Goodman Brady?
That's Goodman Brady's brother.
Oh.
With Team Bonner.
Team Boner or Bonner?
I think it's Bonner. It's not. It's Team Boner.
You know his actual name was Packy Boner.
Okay. Moving on.
Usually.
Stephen Vincent, number 3 with Big Hard Dex.
Good man.
Okay, I'll give that a 6. And fair play.
Who's winning?
Number 2, we've got Ronan O'Reilly with
No, I know who's top. Oh no,
with all the Lamberts.
He's a Villa fan, so.
Okay, I'm gonna give that a 10.
That wins.
That cracked me up. And on top, John Sanders. Saunders. He's new to the league, is he?
Yeah, he's a
Sanders.
Okay, well done, John. He's got Sunderland.
That actually sums him up completely. That is.
He wins everything.
Yeah, he does. He's top of the league, and he's won a free Rovers ticket for that.
That man is $1,000.
Dan, I'm sorry, Dave. There's 37 weeks left of action that we need to get to. 27 weeks. 37. 37 weeks left. Sorry. So he hasn't won the ticket yet. But anyway, so basically
the funniest name he did.
The gulf is 12 in bottom place and 46 in top, so quite a bit of a gulf there. So thank you everybody for joining. You can get us on social media at facebook.com/ITK Soccer Show. You'll get us at ITK Soccer Show on Twitter. Please do share the show, or at least like the page, so people can be more aware of the podcast. And also you can throw around the fantasy football code we just spoke about. Be a part of the fun. We're going to make sure to put it in the description of every single video until the cutoff point 4 weeks from now. And until then, we'll be back next week with some more football chats. Isn't that right, lads?
Oh, yeah.
I'll be drinking next week. Yay!